Hey everyone, welcome back to Who's Your Hoe. Hey, I wanted to bring you out here this evening and show you what we're up to tonight. So as you've heard in some of my other videos, I won't go into horrible detail about it, but we have a bad deer issue out here. And we've came up with a method of covering up our vegetation and trying to desperately keep these deers off, and it's been working like a charm. So as you can see, this is one of my beds here that I've built my fence over. And again, I have a former video that shows specific instructions on this, so it'll show you exactly how to make it. And if you guys can't do it or you need some help with it, make sure you email us at info@who'syourhoes.com and we can send you a packet and we'll discuss the pricing and everything. It's fairly inexpensive, but this has worked like a charm. We've had this out here, I would say, a week and a half to 2 weeks, and we have had visits by deers because I've seen their footprints in some of my other beds, but they have not bothered anything under these fences that I've built. But if you look at these bean plants that I planted, these bean seeds, they have done a horrible job. They did not germinate very well. They were an odd type of bush bean that we got, and I think we probably planted them on the wrong day. We try to follow the Farmer's Almanac, and we planted on I think a bad day. So today is the day to get these things planted. So I'm going to basically redo this bed quickly, and I want to show you how I do it without dismantling this whole fence. As I showed you in my other video, these the side of this net is just on little hooks here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook it off of here, and I'm going to fold it up so that I'm able to work underneath there. So I've got one more down here. I just fold it up right over the top. Again, all these beans, none of them, they didn't come up like I want them to. I'm not gonna do a halfway done garden here, so I'm gonna pull them all out fairly simply. Get rid of those. As you can see, there's a few weeds in here, so I want to clean this up a little bit using the Who's Your Hoe. This dirt's nice dirt, fairly soft. I've kept it watered the last few days because I knew I was going to be doing this, and I wanted to be able to clean it up with my hoe pretty easily. So all that I'm doing here is just getting my weeds out. I'll go through here later and pull them, actually pull the ones that I loosened up out of here, but I'm not going to worry about that now. So, got that done. I'm going to take my garden rake and I'm just going to smooth this out a little bit. I'm going to use the back side of it. Just going to smooth it out fairly simply. Just like so. Now these are blue lake beans that I'm going to plant this time, and we've always had great luck with them, so that's what we're going to use. Now on my Who's Your Hoe here, if you take a look at this head that we've got here, the custom made head, the shape of it here, what I'm going to strike my rows with is this side or this side of the hoe. I don't want to use this side because I don't want my row that wide. So I'm just going to turn it on its side, come down here, and I'm just going to drag it through. I want my row to be about a 1/2 inch deep because you don't want your beans too deep. I'm not going perfectly straight, but that's okay. I make my rows the way I would sew, crooked, so I don't sew. So just like that. Now another way that I could do this if I didn't want to strike rows, I can take the end of this hoe here and I can turn it. Let's pretend I was going to do it right here, and I could just take the hoe. If you look, you just push down and make you a little hole. So there's multiple ways you can use this hoe. And then when you're done, you just flip it over, put your bean in there, cover in your hole. Easy peasy, right? So let me get my beans. All I'm going to do is drop them in here, probably about 4 inches apart. And again, I'll use my hoe for everything. And if you look, this fence is not in my way at all. I can reach all the way over to the middle of this just fine without having to take it apart. And these hooks are the trick, because all you gotta do is unhook it. It's nothing permanent. And you just reach right under there. When you're done, hook it right back. This also keeps out the squirrels, the rabbits, and grab a couple more. Raccoons, possums, we've had them all this year. It's been a crazy year with the animals. Now I'm just gonna take my hoe. I'm gonna take the regular end of it, just like right here, and I just barely cover these up. Just like so. Then I'll give them a sprinkle of water here in a bit. It'll be good to go. And again, I'll pull my loose weeds out of there if I want to later. Now all I got to do now is take my net that I folded up over there, and I'm just going to bring it back down. Give it a hook, pull it kind of tight, because you don't want them deers pushing down on it. So I pull it kind of tight, just put it under the hook. Now this whole thing, I don't really know how much PVC pipe costs. Rob got it, not me. It's inexpensive. It's just 3/4 inch PVC pipe. But the netting, the hooks, it's all fairly simple, fairly cheap. You can use a nail here instead of a hook if you want. I just had these handy, so that's all I used. I always try to keep it tucked in a little bit so my mower doesn't hit it. But that's it. Works like a charm. I'll go to the other side, do the same thing. Lift it up, do what I need to do in it, put it back down. Again, we've probably had this out a week and a half, 2 weeks. It's worked great. So we're gonna plant a couple more beds with the green beans. We already planted turnips over there, and we planted beets over there. And those 2 long beds are full of teeny tiny seeds that are horrible to plant. But we put those in there, and once they start to sprout, what we'll do is we'll take the net and our pipes, or poles, whatever you want to call them, and we'll cover this up as well, because as you can see, these are my pole beans that are ugly. The bottom half of them, see where they ate all the leaves off of them, so that's pretty much killed them. But if you look at the top where they couldn't reach, it's beautiful. See all them beans up there? I'm gonna pick them here in a minute. So these are my pole beans. So wherever the deer didn't get, they did fine. Now our sweet potatoes, we went ahead, they ate all of the leaves off of them fairly early in the season. So in this bed back here, I was being kind of nosy and curious. So I had Rob get his pitchfork out here in that bed back there, and we pulled some of the vines up, what was left of them, because they ate most of them, and there's nary a sweet potato in there. It's absolutely nothing. So we are not going to have sweet potatoes this fall, which is kind of a bummer because we eat lots of them. So I don't know. Next year when we plant our sweet potato slips, obviously we will be using this fencing everywhere, because the only things I've seen that the deer have not eaten are zucchini squash, I think because they're prickly. And I had a bed full of carrots, beautiful carrots, and they didn't touch those. They must not like the way those greens taste. So eat lots of carrots if you got lots of deer. They've even started eating my tomato plants, so I don't know. We're gonna have lots of carrots and lots of squash this year. And then with this fence up, I plan to get lots of green beans and turnips and beets. So stay tuned, we'll let you know. So I'm going to finish up here. You guys remember, give us a like. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment for us. We love to see them, and we love to respond to them. So you guys take care. I'll see you next time.